Welcome, welcome, welcome. Playing around with some technology. Welcome, everyone. Chris Mitchell, Matt, Batman Returns, Mr. Hemi, BJ4 Nash, Matthias, Sifu, Alio is back. It's been a while. Greetings to the Grand Sage, gathering of enlightened individuals. That is a bona fide comment right there, brother. Jim McIntosh in the house. We got a good little show today. I was thinking about this for quite some time. Brutus the Tank is back. Why in the world mental health problems worsen with cosmetic surgery and enhancements? How could that be? How could that be? R.I.P. Scott Hall. R.I.P. Good to see Jerron. Well, here's the deal. When you're chasing the fountain of youth, you'll never catch it. It's as simple as that. If you're chasing beauty on the external, you'll never catch it. It'll always be ahead of you. It's like those people that begin to take drugs. Apparently, the first initial high on some of these very hardcore drugs is the highest they'll ever get, and so they keep trying to get back to it, and they can't ever get back to it. It's very similar. So I'll read a study from you guys, what they talk about. There's strong evidence that ladies with psychological problems were more likely to opt for surgery. Let me read that again. Women who had psychological problems were more likely to opt for surgery. This is a UK medical journal. The female participants who went on to have cosmetic surgery were more likely to have a history of poor mental health, including more depression and anxiety, drug use, self-harm, and self-deletion attempts. The women who had breast surgery more often had a history of less satisfaction. Well, we know that. In other words, they wouldn't have got that done. By contrast, the socio-demographic factors were not related to who had surgery and who didn't. Now, apparently, it also led, and they did the study in Norway, led to all sorts of issues: eating disorders, increase in alcohol consumption. What else did it say? Self-harm. Also mentioned that women who had breast enhancement had a higher percentage of substance. I thought that was interesting. But there you go. When you chase the good old fountain of youth, you're going to lose, right? What does Sifu say? When you grow up with an unrealistic expectations, you'll never be satisfied by natural beauty. 100%. Big Tao Life in the house. Good to see you, brother. Male self-deletion, becoming aware of the system, and females. Female self-deletion is vanity. Ooh, well said. And I think that is what and they did a study, it was a small percentage of men, but the majority of women, because that's the majority of who gets plastic surgery is the females. Body dysmorphic disorder. Okay, once you do surgery on yourself, you're constantly going to look at other things to reinvent as well or improve. Now, a lot of the surgeries they get, the women are not happy with it. So really, if you think about it, what we've been talking about for so long is the external validation never ever hits the internal validation, right? And that's exactly what Sifu just mentioned. Women want an easy life, then get upset when there's no drama. The result, women are never actually happy. I would agree with that statement. So, Madonna is a bad example, says Matthias. Well, I would agree with that. AZ in the house. Saludos a todos, especialmente Rebel Against Defeat. Gracias por estar aquí. When I was to mental health in the military, I was the only guy in the room. When I went to mental health, there you go. The mental illness that comes before the surgery, what you need to correct because God didn't make you. Now, I'm going to say this. There are circumstances, diseases or issues that crashes where plastic surgery has to be done to help improve the looks. I get it. But when you're going in and taking a size B to a size C, inflating the lips, inflating the cheeks, the Botox, pretty soon, a lot of these gals, they look the same. Their faces don't move. They look paralyzed. And those issues create more depression, more anxiety. Now they have to keep up with everyone else. It's a never-ending circle of letdown, plastic surgery. And it's so expensive. It's costly. It's emotionally expensive on them. That's why they hence resort to what they resort to, more and more and more. And the increase in alcohol consumption was an effect as well. Lord Spawn is back. Good to have you. Brutus the Tank. Drinking, drugs, sleeping around will suck the life out of you. Makes your facial and body appearance look older than your actual age. 100%. 100%, brother. Many females know that their attraction is reliant on their value. That is why the cosmetic industry is in the trillions. They are 90% of consumer base. I always said, if you wanted to sell products, I would focus on the female population. They're the ones that purchase the majority of the products and goods sold, 90%, whereas men purchase 10%. Matt Downer, I'd like to think that we men can easily solve a mental health problem. I think a lot of the reasons that guys have mental health is I don't think they're moving. They're not outside. The best cure for anxiety and depression is being outside. Hopefully in more nature, on the beach, in the mountains. Riding your bike, moving your energy. FJT back in the house, King Chad Rad. You're wearing a red. You're coping. Oh man, I'm totally coping. FJT just did a channel on the divorce of a family member. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But you know what? She's not yours. It's just your turn. That goes to everybody. Good to have you. Retail Outlaw in the house. AZ says, those who seek external validation are doomed to live a life of discontent. It's a vicious circle. And that's what we talk about. Internal validation is key. Internal validation. It's almost as though, let's see, if internal validation is like a drug, each high they get is less than the last, so they are forever chasing that elusive first high. Correct? I had my own mental health issues compounded by my ex. I think we all came out of that, especially those that ex-wives, the anxiety issues. But then we realized we can beat it by internally taking care of ourselves. Women waste their high SMV, then are angry about it the rest of their lives. I would say, well said at MGTOW Life. I think I'm having some slow internet. Something's going on. I just got back to the US after 6 years abroad and no one looks happy here, freer than ever. I think we have put so much emphasis on the external that no one's happy because the external is basically walking in quicksand. You're going to sink all the time. Well said, freer than ever. Jerome Markel, uncomfortable truth. That stuff you called makeup is actually aborted. Ugh. Don't believe me? Look at I don't disagree. There's weird stuff in that, you know. Makeup. I mean, I like a natural woman that doesn't wear a lot of stuff. I don't like the fake eyelashes, the fake eyebrows, the injects, the fillers, the Botox, the fake everything, the fake boobs, the fake bottom, the fake the lipo, everything. You know, and you think that some of the hottest chicks that you see out there, like that people think are massively tens, they have massive mental issues because they have to keep up with this image. They have to beat the fountain of youth. They have to continue to look younger and younger and younger. I see it in 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. The constant desire to look, infatuation to look young. Mysterio from Winnipeg. Women use cosmetics to retain their youth because beauty is one currency they can fall back on without effort. Is the one currency they can fall on without effort. Well said, brother. Matt Downer. Anxiety issue can also come from other family relatives. I would agree with that statement. I think your best. I think if people focus on, I think everyone has a degree in anxiety. I remember going through my divorce. Every Friday at noon, I would feel the pressure would come off because I knew my lawyer wouldn't send me anything, and then Sunday evening, I'd start getting anxious. What am I going to hear Monday morning from my attorney? And however, I think it's manageable, and it's manageable by moving your energy, literally, physical, walking, hiking, working out, lifting weights, and then getting in nature and learning to be by yourself. I love how smart. God bless you, AZ. Good to have you in the house. We've got some great folks in this chat, all you guys. Yet the freedom and truth I received from the red and black pills was worth the cost. And I would agree with that statement. I would agree, Seafood. Most women these days destroy their God-given beauty with all these tattoos, smoking cigs, totally turn off. You know, the Ferrari motor car has a rule. If you buy their car, you cannot enhance it or anything. They'll actually come after you and sue you. You can't jack it up. You can't put crazy colors on it. I mean, and you actually sign a license agreement. How about that? If you had to do that for humans, you couldn't enhance anything. You can make yourself better by improving, like physically working out, but nothing fake, plastic, external. Chris Mitchell says it's insane how far women go. It makes them look much worse more often than not. I would agree 100%, man. I don't think it makes them look better. I've never been happier. My struggles have helped me appreciate my simple and lucrative life, MGTOW life. Yeah, and can you imagine, I was thinking about this, about you. If you were still married and you came under that diagnosis, what your prognosis would be, or what the results would be. I'm sure it would be better. It'd probably be a bit more difficult with the factor weighing on you of the, the issues in the marriage. So, hey, glad you are single and got through it. No one is happy. Maybe it's gas prices. Well, I think in the West, most women are not happy. The majority is because they're constantly competing with the wall and their competition. And remember, a woman doesn't get ready for you. She gets ready for the other women. MGTOW Outlaw, everything is fake about women today. Yeah, and I've got personal experience based on who I was married to. Do you ever deal with the handicap that right? Do you ever wear the handicap cap that? No, I don't, brother. But you should. What we got? Excellence. Excellence overlays, says AZ. I do agree with that statement. I am now looking at women that are more natural now over the made up look. I'm not a big fan of makeup, man. I remember in freshman year of college, this gal, the pretty girl from El Cajon, California, she wore so much makeup that it came around her chin and then it ended. So her face was like orange and then here it was like pale. And then I kissed her on the cheek and all this crap got in my lips and it was just powder. It's just gross. I got blocked by a post-wall chick. She most likely dodged a bullet. She was going to be a placeholder anyways. There you go. My ex-wife refused to exercise, saying it was for my ego when it was for her health. I think moving is the greatest thing you can do for your body. Walking an hour a day, riding your bike, being in nature, that's going to bring more health benefits than so many pills that you can take. If I had to go through my prognosis and be married at the same time, no, hell no. Being single got me through it. And I would agree with that statement. I think the force within you to fight it was 100 million times stronger than if you were with a gal. And I think a lot of guys that get sick that are in unfortunate marriages or relationships, they go out quick because they know they don't have, a companion that's on their side, majority, or that would help them. Richard Alvis, man empowered. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're back with a new channel. Uncomfortable truth. This is the reason why the female vote is vital. They are easily manipulated, especially the black vote. Package it, make it look pretty, trigger their emotions. Well, everything's emotionally based, right? If you can trigger their emotions, you can get loyalty. And that's what we've seen with the Liberal Party. Polska back, Chris's fun stream last night. Was that the one with Hammerhand he was talking about? Yep. Women take billions of selfies all the time. They're so insecure. If social media went away, I believe a lot of women would commit or self-delete because they have to live in reality. Yeah, I think I don't know if they would self-delete, because it's more rare for a woman to self-delete than a man. I think it's an 85% male self-deletion over female. I think that's what Terrence Popp was talking about. But I think they would just become even more Karen and get even more delusional, more emotional, just go crazy, like crazy that you've never seen. And I think that's going to happen. What would happen if social or the internet went down? There was no way to communicate. When for the last 20 years, people have been communicating with the microprocessor in their hand. We're talking pandemonium at a level no one's ever seen. MGTOW Life, 2 things help me: inner strength and genuine happiness. Yeah. Inner strength, man. The power of your mind is huge. Belief, the power of belief can get you through so much. Philip Tesoro, it's become a freak show. Free admission to the circus. Must wear way too much makeup, or as we call it, fake up. It becoming hardened on the eyes. Well, even that, and take a look at Botox. Look at a woman that's got Botox. Their face doesn't move. It's not attractive, guys. There's no emotion in the face. That's what makes us human, our faces, how we move it. They can't move it. That's another live stream. I found out the results of some of the long-term results of Botox. Hammerhand's a super genius. Yes, he is, Matt. Let's turn it all off for a month, see what happens. I don't think it'll look good. All men better stay inside if it's turned off, because all those women that are addicted might go cray-cray. Chris did a stream after Pop School. We can be fine without it. It might be a little odd for the first day, but men can get through anything, or the majority. Get ready for the first female prez. This is where we're headed. And I've been watching FJT, how she's been interacting, and she is just not. There's nothing between those. There's just no I'm just not confident. Different perspective. Men use social media as a telescope or microscope. Women use it as a mirror. Ooh, that's a bona fide comment right there, Seafood. Love it. Turn all smart devices for society in general off for a month. Yeah, see what happens, right? 5 years of freedom back in the house. Thoughts are in full effect. I just got hit on by a 60-year-old. Did she have Botox for 300, Trebek? Good to see you. 5 years. Crazy how women call men fragile, but yet us men never do all the fake things they do. Phil D. A woman can go get everything done. A boob job, Botox, plastic surgery, a new nose, butt implants. But if a guy gets a hairpiece, he's a freak. Not that I would get a hairpiece, but I'm just saying. It's like, it's so allowed in this society, MGTOW Live says, I told my doctor I was strong, but I had to prove it, so I did. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Females have been programmed to the sound of a like and subscriptions. YouTube now, when you click the thumbs up, it glows, and illuminated now, all catered to the lady. Yes. I like to call it pancake batter for the face, and it's definitely unappeasing and unappreciated. You're absolutely right, brother. It is pancake batter. Women laugh at men for fun nowadays. Yeah. And it's in the open. It's transparency. They put down men. I have no issues with these altered beasts. In the end, it's just decorating a toilet. There you go. Let's see what we got here. George P's back. Good to see you, George. Hope you're well. I don't think any female has been off their phone for straight 2 hours. Apparently, I heard a mother take the phone away from the daughter, and she called the popo on her mother, and she was 13. John Boston, the legendary John Boston in the house. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are doing well. Gotcha. Botox is female cope. Well, they have issues with Botox. Apparently, it weakens the muscles and it thins the skin out. So they're trying to remove all the wrinkles, but it's thinning the skin. So if they can't do it, and it lasts less and less every time they do it. Let's go fig. Do you know 33 Secrets? He seems to be kind of a blank, but I might be wrong. I don't. I've seen a couple of shows of his. Is he the one that has the dog, Matt? Yeah, he's got some good stuff, but he's all into dating coach tactics. But that's just not my audience. A little enhancement is expected, but do not channel your inner Tammy Faye Baker and apply makeup with a paint roller. I wonder how many folks in here even remember Jim and Tammy Faye Sifu. You're right. High maintenance women are beyond delusional. Too many red flags. Many reasons why many stay single. Can't blame them either. Well, you know what? Let's just say this. You do it to yourself. If you're going to be a man and you don't chase excellence and you sit around and code on computers and play, and just blame and deflect, you're going to get a life full of that. And if you're someone that's chasing the eternal youth and trying to beat the wall, you're never going to, the wall is undefeated. There's something about gracefulness aging. Hey, a little makeup's great. I'm not opposed to a little makeup, but I'm not talking cake fake. I'm talking a little makeup around the eyes to enhance the pretty color of a woman's eyes. I'm not talking complete regeneration of their face based on powder and fillers. Jerome Markel, I don't need no men 31 to 36. Where are the good men 37 to 45? I'm still young, 46 to death. I made a mistake. Last words, I blame men. Oh, yeah. You just laid it down to Chinatown, brother. I used to work in the deli, and the grease that we use to fry chicken goes in a container of Create Cosmetics. You know what else is in cosmetics? Which is fine. Urine. Urea. U-R-E-A. It's urine. It's 40%. All sorts of weird stuff. How do you deal with parental alienation? If you're dealing with a spouse that has it, it's tough. You're just going to have to be stronger than the spouse. You'll get through it. The kids will come back eventually. I do have the Brian John. I bet you do. Wonder how his vocal cords are. AZ says, put lipstick around the cover of the toilet. Doesn't help you to do it up any better. I think you're right, brother. Billy the Goat is back. Why use Botox when there's a Gorilla Glue? Exactly. Yep. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm around the holidays for 300 Trebek. Botox, drugs for the skin, ever chasing that first lasting time. Yeah, I'm sure I remember when my ex did it, she was like 37 or something. Yeah, it looked good. But over time, it turns the face into a piece of cement. Doesn't move. I think Joe Biden, I'm sure they do. I know guys getting Botox now. I know a friend of mine who got it, and he got fillers too. It's really odd. We don't really hang out, but weird. Mickey Rourke weird. Let's see. 5 Years of Freedom, 33 Secrets is a dual agent PUA simp trainer and calling out the thoughts. I just don't believe in the PUA world. For me, it's a different audience. If someone needs that, well, I guess you can buy a course, but I don't see it working. It's a waste of money. They look like $2. Yep. Should we call a boycott on Avon? Just an opinion. Where are the Christy Brinkleys, the pretty girls back in the day, the Claudia Schiffers? Working on optimizing my metal lathe in the basement because that's what matters. Ice cold machinery, way better than any of what used to be the opposite sex. Drinking coffee, listening to Rad. Big Dick Dane from Norway. No, it's Denmark. Good to have you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I concur on the urea. That's a fact. Urea. Well, there's been studies on that. So it's interesting. For women, little makeup is good. Dyeing hair as well. Silver hair on women looks better at 70 plus. I would agree. I mean, I am not opposed to a nice tint of hair, like a nice blonde, highlights. I love good looking hair on women. I think it's great. And a little bit of makeup. Jennifer Aniston that's the look I'm talking about. Uric acid goes into diesel exhaust. Interesting. Did you guys finish your extortion paperwork and file your taxes? I'm not filing mine till April 14th because I got to pay. Any planned collabs coming up for you, Rad? You know what? I'm working on a collab right now with a prominent divorce attorney. And you probably know who he is. That's my next one. I meant shouldn't look like $2. I know what you mean. Hey, if that black chick used Gorilla Glue on her hair, anything is possible. Well, black people have great skin, they don't get wrinkles. What do they say? Black don't crack, Jerome? Why is it so hard for women to be accountable? Why are they so quick to run off instead of work on their relationship? That's just how they are. They're emotionally different than us. That's just how their brain works. 98% work like that. What is PUA? Pickup artist, dating coach, Matthias. We all know that women hit the wall at 30 years old. And my question is for you, Rad, at what age do men hit the wall? David Castro. Well, I think men hit the wall later in life if they take really good care of themselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Men age great. If you don't, if you eat like crap, if you don't work out, you're going to hit the wall early. I've seen guys that are 10 years younger than me, 40, that they look like Homer Simpson. They look 60-year-olds, So you got to take, I think, not only physical, but you need a spiritual element to it. You need a mental element and so forth. But we can last longer. I mean, look at, who's that 70? Look at Harrison Ford. He's almost 80. He still looks great. Lord Spawn says, good to have you, David. Lord Spawn, don't get Botox, get Brotox. Bros before hoes. Mickey looks like a messed up share. PUAs are just professional simps. I would agree. Going out in town and seeing girls in groups of all looking the same, gigantic lips and orange face. That's right, George. That's everywhere. That's even in the West. That's in Colombia. That's in Mexico. Guatemala, I saw it. Dutchker Kaiser, I hope I said that right. Good to have you. I think this is the first time I've seen you. I would like to heavily regulate breast enhancement surgery to protect women from themselves, from the regret they will later feel in many cases for altering their body. Yeah, it's the gateway drug, man. Actually, Botox is the gateway drug to plastic surgery. I think you're right about that. I don't think it's as positive as they think. And when you see an older woman, like 60, that's got her boobs redone, nothing else fits here, right? That she got round, perfectly round, sizable breasts, but everything else on her body, her neck is aged. You could tell her face. It just doesn't, it looks out of place. It's like a guy that gets a terrible toupee. Just looks out of place. Or like an old 80-year-old that colors his hair like jet black. Botox is modernized botulism in a can. Yeah, whoever invented that was, wow, interesting. All the information is out there, Rad. People refuse to accept the reality. Reality doesn't go away because you refuse to accept it. I agree with that statement, man. The fantasy is not the reality. But pink don't stink, go figure. That's funny, Matt. An excess of makeup suffocates your skin. It clogs the pores. Men don't need Botox. Natural looks better. Fasting has done more to enhance my face. I look leaner, and I was never super heavy. It does. It's the best thing for your skin. You know what I'm saying? Carl back in the house. Good to see Carl. Lord Spawn. Most 30-year-old ladies are trying to look like prostitutes. Disgusting. It doesn't look good. This look does not look good. The harlot look is not attractive. Black don't crack if you don't get some sun. There you go. JR's in the house. Good to see you. Matthias, my dad is 68, has girlfriends who is my age. She has a high status and still looks good. Yeah, I'm going to be 50 years this year. The man's wall is marriage. Don't do it. I think that'll age you quick. and also a death sentence, a spiritual and mental and emotional death as well. Do men really hit the wall? I notice that all female Hollywood actors don't have that major pull as they did in the past, except Sandra and Jennifer. Yeah, I mean, look at the leading guys. They're 55, and the leading girls are 22 or 27. They're done. They're washed up by 35. They're washed up. We got a few black dudes at a delivery co-op. Always blows me away when I find out how old they are. Mid-70s. Don't look at. I know those guys look. I saw this YouTube. This black guy 70 looked like literally 38. Couldn't even tell. Doing too well, as a matter of fact. The Wuhan surprise made me wake up. Now I have left society behind. No more voting, involvement, engaging, or unnecessary eye contact. Me and my needs. Big Dick Dane. Good for you, brother. Free agent lifestyle. As Coach Greg Adams would say, this topic is going to give me nightmares. Saw a bit of a chick whose enhanced tidies had a literal blowout. Yep. Yeah. I would agree with that statement, Richard. Do you like the artist Pink? Her face to me looks close. You know what? At least she didn't go nuts with her face. I'm not a big fan of her. I did meet her when she was with who's her boyfriend, the motorcycle guy, because they were over down the street at a friend's house. His name's Fuzzy Hall. He's a real old professional BMXer, has a huge yard. She was a nice person, but I'm not into her music. She's not my style. So I got and she's natural. So I got my Hey Love, She Black random text girl. It was a couple with this 9 years ago, and 5 babies later. Now you're sorry. Mental health is the new wealth. Saw a vid of a chick with enhanced. Oh, I just think I just read that. Yeah, I had a clerk refuse to believe my ID when I proved I was 64. Yeah, you still look very young, Sifu. Women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s using fake up and filters to look 14. They should be on watch lists. They don't look good. It looks like Halloween, and I'm not saying that sarcastically. It really does with some of these gals. I talked to my dad yesterday, and he's feeling really sad. This is going to be a heck of a ride. I hope I can help him during this time. I'm worried about his mental health. Well, I think, as I would say, the fantasy is not the reality. And what most men do, FJT, is they get in that fantasy version of her, like he did everything wrong. He should have moved to Florida or whatever. I would have him write a pro and con list down. Pros on one side, cons on the other. Guarantee they're 3-1, 4-1. Then he reads it every time he's sad. That's what I did. Unrestricted free agent lifestyle. There you go. Mysterio. Samuel Jackson is 72 and he looks like he's 50. Same with Denzel. I would agree. She ain't natural. She's had Botox. She's a feminazi and socialist. What do you think about that song that says, all I need in my life is me and my girlfriend? I don't think I've heard it, but I don't believe that anymore. That's for sure. George, whenever plastic surgery comes up, I always think of that New York elite woman who's had so much work done, she looks like a fetal alcohol product. Oh, yeah, it's whacked. It's really sad that what people do to make themselves appear externally attractive to others when what really matters is what's inside. They make the predators seem tame. Billy the Goat. Men can't really get away with having mental health problems unless they're shell-shocked from war zone. And that is, yeah, the PTSD that comes from that. Even growing up, there's, if it was an abusive household, even in some marriages, some guys have PTSD from an abusive wife. Yet a woman can pretend to be older by using makeup, and if she is underage, they blame the man. Correct. Don't believe in simp music. Simping ain't easy. What do you think of Brady coming back to football? I think he got bored after the 6 weeks. Let's see what happens. Mostly women over 30 use cosmetic surgery to be seen as young, like her 20s. Correct? MJSP 49. They want to chase the eternal youth fountain. And also from a sexual appeal as well. Ever see these before and after makeup vids? I have. I watch them with my boys. Jason McKissack, hope I said that right. Love your message. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, brother. Tell me where you are from. Thanks for being in the chat. Working out as my girlfriend, and I reap the benefits from her. There you go. It is a place where all-out shops meet and trade deliveries. Everybody has different zones in Chicagoland. It's called a Metro Cop. There you go. FJT, I'm going to visit him this weekend. Yeah, if he wants to get in touch with me, have him reach out. Pooping while standing. Bill Burr had a great comic about plastic surgery. Carl, there you go. Men age like wine, women like milk. Matthias. Now, I have seen attractive women in their 50s and 60s if they've taken care of themselves. I think a lot has to do with, now they're not 25, I'm not saying that, but a lot has to do with their mental and emotional internal validation. Angry women age. Women who have anxiety age. Women who hate men age. Love is the key. If they love themselves, they're going to age slow. If they love their place in society, they're going to age. Feminists age quick. They hate everything. Hate is anti-youth. Well said, Matthias. Is it all smaller stuff, or do they also, okay, you guys are chatting. PTSD is real, absolutely real, especially in toxic relationships, potential early household trauma, as well as war. And there's ways that folks can get through that with either therapy or some medications. But no, that stuff's real. The guy is always insecure, abusive when she doesn't get what she wants. You know exactly the guy she was with. It's interesting, as they always say, you don't really know your wife until she divorces you. Okay, it's an old song. There you go. Marcella's back. I'm officially 25 as of yesterday. Good for you. Happy birthday to Marcella. Down south. Hope you had a good birthday and you went out and had a good meal. Good to have you. Pornography, music, social media, TV really destroyed a lot of young men's mind. Damn that devil to hell. I would agree with that statement. And that's one of the reasons pornography is considered dangerous, what it does to men, their men's mental health, as well as physical health. It destroys your testosterone. It destroys so much. It makes you depressed. Actually, if you want to see a show, go watch Your Brain on Porn. The guy took everything out that was moral and just focused on the physical. Your Brain on Porn. I'm in my 50s, divorced and enjoying life. The single women I've met are either desperately hanging on to being cool, hot girls, or they're looking for a meal ticket. Very well said. Keep it simple, stupid. Where are you from? I think you're absolutely right. I've run into those exact types. The 98% are like that. Regardless, in the next relationship, you will be the abusive person. Lord sponsors Vera Wang, reigning hide-and-go-seek champion. Oh, she actually looks very good. I think Mysterio brought her up one time. She does look very, very good. She doesn't look a day over 40. So there you go. What's we got here? MD94 says, can being rejected too many times turn you homosexual? I don't think so. I really hope not. I think that is something inside. I don't know. I think if it does turn you that way, then you probably had some tendencies toward that before. Women fail to realize that while looks matter, if she secures a good man when she's young, he doesn't care about her aging. He's been with her when she's after her prime, and he's absolutely. Absolutely. If a woman stands by a man, he overlooks that, right? One of my exes freaked out because they discontinued a shade of her makeup. They have 50 colors that all look the same. Like passion brown, fiery, cafe, wacky stuff. Billy the Goat says, normally the PTSD from relationship is CPTSD. Interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm in Kelowna, Canada. Well, good to have another Canadian. We got a couple of Canadians that are very prominent. My brother's girlfriend wants to marry him so badly, but he doesn't want to. Although he is a simp, I don't like her very much, and I hope he won't marry her in the future. Well, he's probably in the fantasy world right now. Someone that says she loves him. You know, can't fault a guy like that, but he's got to look at the risks and the rewards. We really need a abusive and controlling t-shirt. Sultan Norzad. Thanks, brother. If a woman is with a man when he builds a fortune, she has his heart forever. Modern women hang out at the finish line and try to trap the winner. Absolutely. Boys have model kits. Girls treat their face like a model kit. The old model kits. I remember growing up, taking that little plastic off that little off the other plastic parts, and then you might bend it too far and it breaks. They got to put the super glue on it. John Boston, rad. I know a woman of 3 kids in her early 40s. Got some bolt-ons, as Greg Adams talks about. Look, we all like breasts. As simple as that. And it is what it is. There's nothing spectacular about fake ones. Rad, do you think the situation of divorce is sort of a mini PTSD put upon a man if we focus on what the man... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The guys suffer. It's many. It's overcomable if you find like-minded individuals or you find like-minded content and therapy. I'm right as Rad's age, and it's funny how many women are desperate to find a meal ticket retirement plan. Nope. Yep. You're right. You wait, guys. They're coming out of the woodwork. Saw a news article or something about a guy who was so rejected he did turn to men because he believed it was his only non-masturbatory option. Well, maybe he had a tendency, but to me, I love the females. My coworker's wife told him he should make more money. Of course he did. 45-year-old guy who's financially stable and a 22-year-old very attractive feminine girl who works at McDonald's are the perfect match biological. They both are in their prime. Yeah. It's disgusting that they're teaching young kids about 5,000 different genders in school. My son was at the university filling out paperwork, and there were 16 genders on the entry form or the registration. Love DeSantis respond to that idiot reporter. Me too. We need strong men. I'm a fan of strength, not weakness, and that's all I see out there. So anyhow, what I was saying earlier. Women have there's strong evidence that women with psychological problems were more likely to opt for surgery. The female participants who went on to have cosmetic surgery were more likely to have a history of poor mental health, including depression and anxiety, and more illicit drug use, self-harm, and self-deletion attempts. Okay? And that's a study out of Norway by the Von Sust Kavalum Wistrom Predictors of Cosmetic Surgery and its Effect on Psychological Factors. And that's by Fair Use or Fair Trade or whatever you call it. Now, mental health may worsen. Okay, here we go. About 7% of women between the ages of 18 and 65 have undergone cosmetic surgery. According to these statistics, they found that girls who decide to undergo cosmetic surgery or enhancements are on average more depressed and anxious than those who do not. They are also more prone to self-deletion. This is both before and after surgery, which suggests that the plastic surgery does little to alleviate mental health problems. What's more, some of the symptoms of poor mental health are on average even worse after the operation. Cosmetic surgery has more problems than others, says Associate Professor Angela London. And after the surgeries, their symptoms of depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and excessive alcohol consumption have increased. There you go. That's the study. CPSD is drawn out with no clear origin of trauma, meaning you can't pinpoint it to an exact event. Interesting to know, Billy the Goat. I just went on Tinder for the first time with a fake profile to see what the gals are like. It is very shocking and interesting. It is a great experiment. Society thinks that men's mental health is a joke. The resources for help is not clear as it is for women. I would agree. 100%, Mysterio, especially in the West. John Boston, with all the families being broken in the Ukraine, where are the women in this country complaining about the children not having a dad? I would agree. There's a lot of crickets being going on, John, about everything. Being strong is like being smart. I like strength. I think men like strength. That's what we're programmed to be. Carl said, "Did your wife get your home that you paid for?" No, we were able to. What's the word? We sold it. She got half, and I got half. Yep, that was one of my deals. I was not going to go back to the marital home and pick my kids up that I bought. Quite the correlations. Richard says, one of my friends recently got engaged. She's 30. I'm thinking, oh dear, man, it's a trap. A lot of risks to marriage these days. A lot of risks, especially to the 98%. Let's see. Women rarely self-delete. Why? Not sure. Not sure. Maybe it's hard to do. You have to have a lot of balls to take yourself out. I am not a narcissist. I do not even put color in my hair. I earn my gray hair and I enjoy. Hey, I got some gray right here. Right in my beard. I love my salt and pepper. I'm with Team Sifu. What about these botched surgeries or the regret after getting said surgery? Television and social media is the devil. Absolutely. There's so many bad surgeries. Bad. Even bad lip inflation. Cheeks, they do it all. It just doesn't look right. If you're putting something fake in your body, it does not make it natural. Fake is not natural for 300 Trebek. Resabite in the house. I don't get how guys get into fake breasts. I've had a few on myself. I prefer the natural woman to the fake one. That goes fake mentality, fake bodies, fake everything. I would agree with that statement, Risavite. Makeup is also a form of everyday plastic surgery. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Rad, I know a woman who got Botox and she's in her 40s and complaining how being an aging woman and not getting the attention. She drinks a lot of box wine. What did Terrence Pop say? Catland with box wine. Yeah, I mean, the box wine's going through the roof. Just go. If you ever go to the liquor store, watch all the box, or in the grocery store, watch how much box wine is being consumed. Women attempt self-deletion to get attention. I would not disagree with that statement at all. I think you're right. And to live eternally. Have a neighbor who ran into a single mother with 4 kids, did pay for lunch, finally evicted, over $20,000 in damages according to the owner. Yeah, it's a single. Yep, I can see that happening. Coco Jojo. Hey, Rad, do you think sometimes? I'm trying to think. Oh, here it is. Do you think that women never truly like a man regardless? I think women that like men are very rare. They like what a man can provide, whether that's status, protection, provision, and strength. Other than that, to really like him, I think there's a percentage, a 1 to 2% chance that a woman likes a man and loves a man. That's just my personal opinion. Self-deletion along with the want for surgery will be a sign of BPD. And that is what they also talked about, Billy the Goat. I'm glad you said that. BPD is women that have BPD are extremely prone to plastic surgery. I was actually going to bring that up. I always see that invisible sign on attractive women. You can look, but you can't touch. Brutus the Tank. Women attempt deleting more than men. Once again, something that we're better at. Women attempt it more. Got you. I think a lot of them do it for attention. Irad, do you think? Oh, yep, already talked about that one. Something the red pill does that women cannot understand is that eventually you become happy with the man in the mirror. Yes, very well said, Sifu. Words of wisdom from the Grand Sage in Boise. Polska, none of them are actually serious. It's a cry for help. And I think that's right. I know several women that have done that for a cry for help. Women don't self-delete because mental health help win custody in divorce battles 92% of the time. Not a big enough audience. Large audience can prevent and rescue them from their attempt. And absolutely, Lord Spawn. Bill Burr said it's okay to be 52-year-old and look like you're 52. It's not okay to be 52 and look like a lizard. Jason Reed in the house. Good to see you. That is funny. Absolutely. Superficially, I'm okay with a woman dyeing her hair for life. Wrinkles can be accepted. Yeah. I mean, if you want to use oil of Olay or whatever to help your face, great. If you want to do a chemical peel, great. But you're not adding something into it, filling it, and pumping it full of crap. And dyeing hair, a nice hair cut and color that's attractive and feminine, I'm down for it. I'm great. These guys that get injected synthol in their arms to make them big is the same as these girls getting Brazilian butt lifts. I have seen guys, apparently you can get fake pecs, fake deltoids, fake biceps, all that crap. Matthias, how often? Oh, every 2 days. Every 2 days. I love lifting weights. However, I dislike the side shape this yesterday. I love lifting weights. However, I dislike the sexual uptick afterwards due to testosterone surge, says Sultan. There you go. She can't love like that, or TFM, she'll never love you, tells you all you need to know. They love differently. That is what we're going to talk about. They love differently. You think you can get them to love your way? Go figure. What is the maximum age gap between a man and a woman in a relationship marriage? Usually it's an older man with a, I've seen guys that are 50 with 25-year-olds. I would say a 15-year gap would probably be the best, Okay, Mecha Man. Putin is against liberalism from the West, infecting Russian society. I think, yeah. Why do you think he went off when Trump was gone? Good to have you, Mecha Man. Where are you from? Women love Google for checking you out. They go on social media and look through local databases on where you live. They Zillow your house. And they want to make sure where it's at. They drive by. Yeah, it's crazy. No way he has his McLaren out on these snotty roads. You know what? He has a different audience. He at one point he had some good stuff. He definitely had some good channels. I don't know if he lives what he preaches, but that's just me. I know he has a girlfriend, and he's never said that there's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully, he doesn't get married, cohab, or have kids. Ray said, "Pete, I missed the wig," but I don't really. I haven't watched him for a long time. And all that drama with him and him charging, I'm not into that, man. If you need help, just send me an email. I'll get to you. Ultimately, this all comes from a low self-esteem, which creates a lack of identity and other problems too many to list out here. Self-esteem is huge, guys. You need to work on yours, which is getting out, and lifting and moving. That's what's going to help it more than anything. Brad, are your sister and mother natural looking? Do they have short or long? My sisters have long hair. The oldest sister, she's younger than me, is a very attractive woman. The other two kind of let themselves go. Brad has a Dr. Evil Baldy. There you go. When the pandemic first started, it was funny about how many women and I worked with were freaking out about not having access to their hairdresser. Well, because now they're showing the wall is winning even during the pandemic. If you ever want to get rid of a woman, put on some Michael Bolton and sing When a Man Loves a Woman. That was Michael Bolton first. What's that movie from? He needed to change his name, that ass clown. Those guys look like mutants. Yeah, they do. Those fake muscles and crap. I mean, come on. And they fake butts. Held her accountable for their actions. It's very difficult. When you and your ex took the kids out for outings, you always joked. Yes, I did. I did not like her driving. I did not. She wasn't she was decent enough, but when she was with me, I didn't like how she drove. The man should drive, in my book, the majority of the time. Unless you're on a road trip. Bring back Trump. President, let's go, Brandon, is ruining America. Wow. Yep. Go see if you can watch that YouTube of Trump that got deleted. It's on Infowars.com. Happened last week. Not super bad. John Boston gets the award of Office Space. I think you're thinking, Carl, McLovin, you look like Pinocchio. The fuck is that name, McLovin? Excuse my French. Women fail at self-deletion lots of times because they cry for attention. Yeah. Most everything for the majority of the ladies is attention seeking. Just needs external validation on all fronts. What was the line from the movie Rebel? Michael Bolton. That Ascon needs to change his name. The only accident I've been in was when my ex-wife was driving. T-boned because she was multitasking. Not a fan of women drivers. Men process driving differently. You know what I'm saying? Sifu, I would agree with that statement. They're now censoring. Susan is now watching anyone that's bringing up those words. I think with inflation, price of gas, high rents, the barbarians at the gate once again, and this time the feds are not handing out free checks. Correct. Super bad was McLovin. Yeah, was the original one was Office Space, but Pinocchio. McLovin, damn it, Fogel! What do you mean, McLovin? McLovin's the boss. Well, 100% Sifu, 100%. Did you watch the Batman yet? No, but I want to. Hopefully this week with my boys. Yes, John did. He was first in line. Now he gets a buttered roll with a gumdrop inside. Back when I was in elementary, they would, bake the rolls with hot lunch, and they put a little gumdrop in it. If you got one with the gumdrop, you got an ice cream after you were done. Bigger the boobs, bigger the attitude. And bigger the illness. Mega Man. Marcella says, I saw that women that get boob jobs are 4 times more likely to self-delete. Good thing I really like mine. You're absolutely right, Marcella. It basically said women that got breast augmentation got self-delete. The increase in self-deletion was 4 to 5 times higher. Well said. And a woman that gets a breast augmentation with her lover or her boyfriend or her husband, 75% likely to divorce the guy. Everyone I knew that got breast implants divorced their husbands. If you leave me, then I'll delete myself. Gaslighting. Absolutely, brother. We hit 5K. Can you believe that? After Susan was slowing us down. What about women race car drivers? Did she ever win a championship, Danica? Or was she there just for the headlines of quality with the E, right? My ex's girlfriend mom wears body glitter at 60. Oh, geez, total narcissist. And a lot of cosmetic surgery. Oh, gee, Christmas. That's par for the course around here, brother. The women I meet all the time, all seem to have jobs like the women who work in the human resources at CJA channel. A lot of, even my industry, a lot of women work in it, which is fine. The ironic thing about the overly inflated ego of the westernized woman is that if you remove their, for some of them would be able to keep a man interested. They're not likable, in the words of Patrice O'Neill. CJ in the house, good to see you, brother. I would agree with that statement 100%. Do you see the Ukrainian president begging Congress? Yes, I did. Yeah, and guys need to understand what this truly means. If NATO gets involved, that means we have to get involved. Gas is high, but it's also part of the plan because, after all, certain individuals can't sell electric cars. If gas is cheap, it's all staged, it's all planned. Something is behind the curtain. Someone or something is pulling the strings behind the curtain. Gaslighting is to make you doubt reality and sanity. It's just manipulation tactics as well, right? More and more women are becoming blanks. Yes. I think it's just the anxiety, the validation from social media, the constant drain of technology on their senses, the dopamine that they cannot ever live up to is causing all of that issue. Mental health, the mental health business in healthcare, which I am, is going through the roof from children to adults. If you want to be a doctor, don't be a doctor. Go be a mental health therapist. That's where people are making the big money. Never let your women know how much you make. Tell her it ain't her damn business. It ain't your business. That's right. That's right. Only you should know. Why would I stress my life in a foreign war when absolutely, man. There's guys going over there right now they're trying to help. It's sad what's going on. But I would look at the history and culture of those two countries, and it is what it is. You should do a breakdown of the female pilot who dumped $100 million F-35 plane off an aircraft carrier. Oh, really? I didn't hear about that. Well, I know Vladdy puts female fighters in his Russian army jets. Not sure why. Those Biden stickers at the gas pump are great. America's more than pissed. Impeach Biden now, Trump 2024. Huge. I'm a big fan of strength, man. Whether it's DeSantis, Trump, strong men get things done. Well, you know what's funny? People go, John, they'll say, I got an electric car, or I got a hybrid. Great. Well, you're going to pay the exact same prices in electricity, food, goods, Amazon, restaurants that I'm going to pay. You just save yourself $100 a month for your car, which costs you $25,000 just to put batteries in it. Again, I can make and I'm not nothing against electric cars. I just don't think they're where they need to be. Musk is cool, and he made the electric car sexy. That's the models of his car: S, E, X, Y. Those are the 4 models he has. And he made it sexy, but it's still an electric car. It still requires electricity and lithium. And it only has certain range, especially when it's hot or cold, or going uphill, or there's wind. That would be a good ticket, Mecca Man. Trump and DeSantis, I'm entering the mental health field. That's where the money's going to be made in healthcare, unless you're a brain surgeon. If I get a girl and she wants me to take her home somewhere expensive, I'll surprise her by taking her to the gas station. You can get pizzas at gas stations now. Pizza box slice for $300 Trebek. Howard Dare, did he do a video on? I'll have to check that out. Jawara back in the house. Author of 7 books. Media is trying to get us behind Ukraine. I agree with that, man. Eddie A, just home from the grocery store and saw you were live. Shout out to Eddie A in the house. Is Jonathan Noble the lawyer? You are, time will tell. He's potentially one of them. Electric cars are not commercially viable yet. No. And I think the build quality is still not there. Go look at all the issues that Tesla owners have. I have an older cousin who I love, and she used to leave the house all the time. Now that she's aging, she's becoming a homebody. Matthew, good to have you in the house. It's true. It's happening to tons. And another thing, MGTOW Life and everybody else, electric cars are extremely expensive. If you do the dollar cost averaging, it'd be better for you to buy a Hummer. You'd save more money. I believe Ward Carell did one on her. Yep, if you don't treat mental illness with respect, you can harm people further. Or you don't treat them with respect, absolutely. And you know what's real? I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, some of the things that we can do to help us if we're having days that are lonely or just don't feel it. We got to get out and move. That's why I tell everyone, you got to get moved. You got to start. Just go around and walk for 30 minutes. It'll literally shift your atoms within your body, and it'll help tremendously. How much do I fill my car up with? Geez. I don't know what I paid, like $52 the other day, but it wasn't fully empty. I was always bringing up the fact that a Tesla requires non-electric energy to create the steel molds that build the car itself. Can't do it on solar, wind power, etc. Requires gas, coal, or oil. You know, it's funny, Carl. Trump was on that banned YouTube you can see on Infowars, and he talked about the windmills and how it's so stupid to even try to get to green energy. Where the world runs on petroleum, fossil fuels. My buddy filled up his RV last week. It costed him $980. Jiminy Christmas. Well, yeah, like 200 gallons, right? And now the trucker going their gas, like $2,500 to fill their tank up. I told a woman I voted for Trump and just got some new My Pillows. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Where's the power to charge the electric come from? Exactly. Guys, it's been a great stream. You guys are all great. The rare earth magnets in electric cars are very expensive. They are very expensive, and you have to repair them all the time and reshift the batteries. Those cosmetic blowfish look funny. You know what? Pretty soon they're going to literally sell you a bike pump for lips. Have you seen the Jack Reacher? I have not. I bought a couple of my friends told me to check it out. Democrats and women never consider the unintended consequences of their decisions. Okay. After the 5 years, the batteries don't hold as much charge, cost $11K to replace them, if not more. I would never buy an electric car. This is not, they're not there. The price is too high. 60% still comes from coal. Looks like the Tesla band going back to hard rock roots on the next album. I think Tesla's great. I play a couple songs on the guitar. See you guys. Big boobs over big butts. You guys are great. This is Rebel Gets Defeat, Base Excellence, Masculinity, Men First.